Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to unpack a real head scratcher in healthcare pricing that is so wild, it almost sounds fake. It's all about a simple medical scan, two completely different prices, and a billionaire who is not letting it go.
And this really is the question at the heart of it all. It seems simple, but the answer, well, it pulls back the curtain on the entire US healthcare system. Why would anyone, especially a giant insurance company, willingly pay over 7 times more for the exact same thing? It doesn't make sense, right?
The person asking this question? Entrepreneur Mark Cuban. And he's really made it his mission to call out what he sees as a totally broken pricing system. This isn't just some random thought. It's a direct challenge to how this whole industry works. And I mean, just look at this difference. It's staggering. We're not talking about a small markup here. This is a 700% price gap. A gap so big it just forces you to ask, what are we actually paying for? So, who's to blame here? I mean, the natural instinct is to start pointing fingers, and that is exactly what's happening in this debate. Let's take a look at the two main sides of the argument. So, the common argument, the one you hear a lot, is that it's the doctors and hospitals setting these ridiculously high prices, and the insurance companies are just paying the bills they're given. But Cuban's counter is, hold on a second. If insurers know they're paying these inflated rates when cheaper options are right there, they're not just innocent bystanders, they're actually part of the problem. And you know what? It turns out this isn't just one billionaire's weird observation. As soon as Cubans started talking about this, people started sharing their own stories, and it became clear this is a frustratingly common thing. The evidence is just overwhelming. For example, check this out. This person was told their MRI would cost over $1,500 with their insurance, but when they paid in cash, it dropped to just $275. That's a savings of more than $1,200 just by stepping outside the insurance system for a minute. And here's another one, a potential bill of over $3,000 through insurance, but only $212 at a nearby center. The pattern is just undeniable. The insured price is often completely disconnected from the actual cost of the service. So if it's not just about providers jacking up prices, where is all that extra money going? Well, according to Cuban, the answer is hidden in this complex, tangled web of middlemen. Let's try to follow the money. A key player in this maze is someone called the Pharmacy Benefit Manager, or PBM. Now, their official job is to manage prescription drug programs. But in reality, they've become these incredibly powerful gatekeepers that stand between you, your doctor, and your insurance. And this is where it gets really crazy. The connection is right there in plain sight. The biggest insurance companies in the country also own the biggest PBMs. So you have this massive concentration of power all sitting under the same corporate roof. Like Cuban says here, they've become too big to care. When the insurer and the PBM are basically two arms of the same giant company, he argues that all accountability just vanishes. I mean, think about it. Why would one part of the company fight to lower a price that actually benefits another part of the company? The money just moves from one of their pockets to another. And this whole setup, this concentration of power, it leads us to the big reveal, the real reason why a system this illogical just keeps on going. So here's the crucial point. The system isn't really broken. It's working exactly how it's designed to. Insurers have very little financial reason to go find that $350 MRI. In fact, you could argue the opposite is true. Higher healthcare spending across the board can be used to justify raising everybody's premiums the next year. In that world, an expensive MRI isn't a problem to be solved. It's just business as usual. And that's the heart of it, right here, in what Cuban says. There's no rule, no regulation, no force that requires them to be cost-conscious for us, their members. The path of least resistance is to just approve the higher price and pass those costs along to everyone else. Now, all this might sound like some distant, high-level corporate problem, but trust me, it has a direct and very real impact on your wallet. Let's break down why this whole thing really matters. When an insurance company pays $2,500 for a service that could have been $350, that extra money doesn't just disappear. It gets baked into the entire system. It's a big reason why your monthly premiums go up, why your annual deductible keeps rising, and why your total out-of-pocket maximum climbs higher and higher every year. So here's the bottom line. That overpriced scan is being paid for by everybody in the insurance pool. The cost is spread out across all of us with a policy, which means you are helping to pay for this inefficiency whether you ever step foot in an imaging center or not. So we're left with this one last question to chew on.
When a system allows for a seven-fold price difference for the exact same service, it really forces us to ask, what is the real value in healthcare? It's not just about what something costs anymore, is it? It's about what we're told it's worth and who gets to make that decision.